Hello and welcome back. So in the earlier video we have covered basically the customer banks and customer relationship, the general relationship as well as the special relationship. Okay, now in this video lecture we will going to discuss the rights of the bank. Okay, rights of the banks as well as the obligation of the banks. So these aspects we are going to see here. So as far as the rights of the banks are concerned, what are the different rights? The first one over there is the right of lien. Right of lien means what? Lien means what? When the loans are granted to the customer, at that time the certain properties are mortgaged. Okay, so or it's kept on the certain properties are mortgaged. So that property is kept with the bank till the dates are repaid. Okay, so that right of keeping the property till the dates are repaid is called the right of lien. Okay, so the right of lien are of the two types. The liens are of two types. The first one is the particular lien and the other one is the general lien. So when we are talking about the particular lien means what? For a specific loan, the property is for the specific loan, a particular property is mortgaged. Okay, so the bank is keeping that particular property till the repayment. Okay, so the bank has the right only on that property which is mortgaged. That is called the particular lien. Okay, just take the example. If the tailor is stitching the clothes of the customer, so the seller has the right to keep that clothes till the payments or the charges are paid. Okay, so that is the example of the particular lien. There is a general lien. If we are saying that the general lien, in that case basically the bank can retain the property which are mortgaged. Along with that, the other one also, it extend not only towards the pledge as a security but also in respect of others. In respect of others means what? The other properties or movable properties of the other movable properties of the customer or the debtor is also to be kept by the bank. Okay, such type of the lien is called the general lien. Okay, which is extended to the other properties or assets of the person. The next one is their right of set off. Right of set off means what? Basically, set off means what? It's combining the two accounts of the same customer. So if it is a mutual adjustment between the banker and the customer, that is the creditor and the debtor, that in respect of the payment due to the creditor, set off the aptly be described as the right of the banker to appropriate. It's nothing but the appropriation of the account. Just here one example is given. The banker in the bank, one customer account is showing the debit balance, that is the overdraft is taken, and that overdraft is of the 10,000 rupees. Okay, and the bank in that bank also the customer has the credit balance of 5,000. Okay, so in that case what? The bank will set off the account, okay, and will adjust it, the debit balance with the credit balance. So now the bank can claim the remaining amount of 5,000 rupees only from the customer. So such type of the arrangement is called what? The right of set off. So this right is also with the banks. But now what are the conditions where the set of rights can be applicable? It's applicable when the account must be in the same bank, okay, of the customer. Similarly, the right in respect of the dates due only, not in the future dates. The amount of date must be certain and undisputed, and there should not be any agreement expressed or implied to the contrary. Okay, so the right cannot be exercised after the garnishing order. So such type of the conditions are necessary for the right to set off. There is a right of appropriation of the payment. Right of appropriation of payment is also similar to the right of set off. Okay, so appropriation of payment means adjusting the payment towards the date. Okay, when a debtor owes several distinct dates to a creditor and makes a payment not sufficient to clear or discharge all the debts, then the balance, whatever the balance, that can be adjusted, okay, against which dates the payments to be adjusted. Okay, if I'm explaining it in the next paragraph, if a customer has taken many loans from the bank and if he deposits some money in the bank without any instruction, and if that amount is not sufficient to discharge the discharge the loan, the bank has the right to appropriate the amount deposited to any loan, even to a time barred date, but the customer should be informed on the same. Okay, so the customer should be informed. It means that it's related with the payments which can be appropriated. Okay, the next one is their right, bankers' right to claim the incidental charges. It's a obligation on the part of the customer that they should maintain the minimum balance in the account, and it is the right of the bank to recover the incidental charges for the payment for the different services provided by the bank. Okay, so whatever the different services which are provided by the bank, for that purpose the bank has the right to recover the charges. So bankers' right to claim the incidental charges. Similarly, the bank also has the right to charge the interest. So if the loans are granted to the customer, that is the bank is behaving as a creditor and the customer is behaving as a debtor, at that time then the bank is giving the loan to the customer, so it is very mandatory and necessary on the part of the bank to recover the interest. Okay, so interest is charged by the bank, so it's again the right of the bank. Similarly, right to close the account. The bank can close the account of the customer. Okay, customer, in case if this account is not operated for a long period of time, but it is very necessary that the bank should pre-inform the customer or give the notice before closing the account. Okay, so this is again the right of the customer, right of the bank to close the account, okay, of the customer. So now these are the rights which are available with the bank. Similarly, there are the rights which are with the customers. First one is there to right to fair treatment. Every customer, irrespective of the caste, religion and the physical ability, every customer has the right to get the fair treatment from the banker. Okay, so it's not the bank should not behave discriminately to the different types of the customers. Similarly, their right of transparent, fair and honest dealing. Whatever the transactions which are taking place or which are performed by the customer, okay, so the customer has the right to get the fair and honest details of the transactions. Okay, so transparent and fair, honest dealing of the transaction. Similarly, right to suitability. Right to suitability means what? If a customer come across cases of see what happens, this is especially we find in terms of the different types of the insurance. Okay, just to get the more commission from the policies, basically the agent gives such policy to the customer where they get the more commission. Okay, irrespective of that it suits to the customer needs or not, but the right of suitability suggests that the customer should be given the product according to his capacity as well as suitability, which suits better to the customer. Similarly, right to privacy. Again, the customer has the right to privacy in terms of his accounts. Okay, without the permission of the customer, the bank cannot give the details of the customer to the telemarketing companies for cross-selling purpose. Okay, or for cross-selling purpose. Okay. Similarly, right to grievance, redressal and compensation. In case if the customer suffers with the certain problems because of the misbehave of the misbehave of the officer of the bank with the customer. Similarly, just because of the certain misappropriation on the part of the accounts and other, just because of any such reason, if the customer is suffering, then it is again the right of the customer to give to right to get the grievances redressal, and for that purpose we can also get the compensation. Okay, so these are the rights of the customers. Now we will see what are the bank's obligations. Okay, obligations, the first one over there is obligation to pay the checks. Okay, so in case if the checks are drawn by the customer to the bank, it is the obligation of the bank to pay the amount of the checks or to honor the checks. Okay, the bank cannot dishonor the check if the sufficient fund is available and if the check is properly drawn. Okay, so the bank has the obligation to pay the amount of the checks, but there are certain cases when the bank cannot pay the checks amount. Okay, or payment to the checks, that maybe the checks is not properly drawn, there is an insufficient balance in the account. Similarly, check is stale check means the presented after the date is over. Similarly, the check is crossed but presented for the cash purpose. Similarly, checks is received after the receipt of the notice of the death and the insolvency or lunacy of the drawer of the check. Okay, so these are basically the obligation to pay the checks. Similarly, the next one is there, obligation to maintain the secrecy. Again, it is mandatory on the part of the bank, that is to maintain the secrecy of the customer's account. Okay, the bank cannot disclose the information to the third party with the third party of the bank's customers. Okay, so it's again obligatory on the part of the bank to maintain the secrecy of the accounts. Disclosure in the bank's interest is permitted, so also it is an accepted custom among the banker to disclose certain information to a fellow banker on written request. Okay, so if the written request is made by the fellow banker, then only the disclosure can be possible. While disclosing information to others, only bare facts should be revealed and not any comments and conclusions on the matter. Okay, can be disclosed. Okay, so these are the obligations related to maintain the secrecy. Then there are the obligations to give the notice before closing the account. Okay, so if the accounts of a customer is going to be closed by the bank, then it is again mandatory, or it's obligatory on the part of the bank to give the notice of the same to the customer. Similarly, obligation to maintain the proper records. The records should be properly maintained. Okay, it is a duty of the banker to maintain the proper and accurate records of all the transactions that customers made with the bank. Similarly, obligation to follow the customer's instructions. Whatever the instructions are given to the bank by the customer, it's again mandatory on the bank to follow them. Okay, provided those instructions come under the particular law. Okay, beyond it's not going beyond the law. Okay, now what are the customer's obligations towards the bank? The first one over there is not to draw the checks without sufficient balances. If the customer is not having the balance and still the customer is still drawing the check, then it is not a good thing. So it's obligatory on the part of the customer that he or she should draw the checks when he or she is having the sufficient balance in his account. Similarly, to draw the checks in such manner so as to avoid any damage, changes or alteration. After issuing the checks, so before issuing the checks or before drawing the checks, it's very necessary that the customer should check all the details so that there should not be the a chance of alteration. Okay, so alteration can be possible, but if it is possible to avoid it, it's better. Okay, to pay reasonable charges for the services which are rendered by the bank. So if the bank is providing the proper services to the customer, so again it's a obligation on the part of the customer to pay the charges for such services which he is availing, and to make the demand on the banker for repayment of the deposits. Okay, it's repayment of the deposit, it's obligatory that he can demand it. Okay, so these are basically the obligations on the part of the customers which he can follow, which he should perform towards the banks. Now we have covered in this particular chapter basically the bank and customer relationship. Okay, the general relationship as well as the specific relationship, bank's definition, banking's definition or banker's definition, similarly the customer definition, and the bank's rights, similarly the customer's right, the bank's obligation and the customer obligation. Okay, so with this particular aspect our chapter is finished. Okay, we will see in the next video lecture our next topic, that is the opening and closing of the account and the various type of the interest rates which are charged. Thank you.